This was a video that I was really excited to make because I suffered from having thin edges once upon a time. My edges still are not the thickest, but they are coming back and they're doing really well. And I wanted to share some tips that I've came across and learned along the way. And I hope that they will help you ladies as well if you're trying to have a nice thick and full hairline. I know sometimes with our relaxed hair that can be an issue, but I'm here to help y'all today. Let's go ahead and get into the first tip. And the first tip to having or growing your hairline back, getting it nice, thick and full, or just maintaining it to be thick and full, is to keep your hairline and your edges free from any products except for products that are going to nourish, condition, or soften your edges. Now, by any products, basically what products I'm talking about would be like gel, hairspray, edge control, all the fun products, all the products that we really love, we really like using and make us look real cute. Yeah, if you want to have nice, thick, beautiful, healthy edges, you're gonna have to put a pause on that, especially if you're someone who you notice that every time you use those, your edges start to get sparse and get thin. I am one of those people. But yeah, if you notice that your edges be here today, gone tomorrow, or kind of just disappear, fade in and fade out, you probably need to take a break on applying product to your hairline. I have done this. I've been doing this for the past, I want to say I have not really put any product on my edges, like edge control gel, anything like that. I want to say since June. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all have seen my videos and seen how I style my hair, so y'all correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But I believe it's been since maybe late June, early July. I'm gonna give myself maybe until July that I have used any products on my edges, and I cannot tell y'all how much of a difference this makes on your hair. If you're worried about this, now it doesn't mean that you cannot use any products at all on your hair. I do put leave-in conditioner on my hair. I do put oils on my hairline. I mainly do this on wash day. Y'all know that I don't like to apply products throughout the week on my hair, so this is not something that I'm just like oiling and conditioning my edges, but I do apply product to my hair obviously on wash day, and I make sure that I thoroughly get my edges and that they're soft and nice and conditioned so that they're not dry and do have a tendency to fall out, because they can fall out if they're dry too and you're wrapping your hair or combing your hair a lot around your edges. So just be careful with that. You don't want to apply the wrong products like gel and edge control. And I think these are the wrong products to apply to our edges and our hairline, is because a lot of the time these products either contain alcohol, so they're actually very drying to our hair, or like edge control. Edge control in most cases does not contain alcohol, but it's very thick and it makes your hairline and edges hard to breathe. So when your scalp can't breathe, it tends to just create like caked on dandruff and things like that that can prevent your hair from growing or even make your hair fall out. And that's why I just advise, if you're trying to maintain a thick, healthy hairline, or you're trying to regrow your edges, lay off of products that are going to just sit on your edge line or dry them out. And products like that would be, like I said, edge control gel, hairspray, things like that. The second way to keep your hairline nice, thick, healthy, and beautiful is to wear looser styles and to stay away from styles that pull on your edges or create a lot of tension on your edges. And by looser styles, y'all know I don't wear ponytails. So for me, loose styles is wearing my hair down. But if you like to wear ponytails, that's your thing, you like to pull your hair back from time to time, consider using something that doesn't create as much tension when you do put your hair back in a ponytail. Like maybe try using a scrunchie or a hair tie that is not going to just pull so tight like a small elastic band would. Y'all know those little small black little bands. I used to secure my hair with those a lot, and that caused a lot of breakage, not only in the nape and just my hair period, but also around my edge line, especially like right here in my temples, because my hair would just be so pulled back so tight. So I try my very, very, very hardest to not wear my hair in a ponytail unless it's just dire need. I'm just looking crazy and I got no choice, but that's rare. I try not to do that, and I would advise you guys to do the same. I also stay away from things like braids, just really any type of constricting hairstyle that's going to pull my edges, I don't wear. And that's because my hair, like I told y'all before, is really fine, and my hair just cannot take that. But if you want to do it and something that you feel like you can't give up, then just loosen up your styles a little bit. Give your edge line room to breathe. If your hairline or your hair, if it looks like you're getting a facelift when you are pulling your hair back into a ponytail or slicking it back, or even if your eyebrows lift up a little bit because of you putting your hair into a ponytail, then ma'am, I need you to know that that's just a little bit too tight. Your hair is not gonna like that, and your edges is gonna get mad at you and fall off and say peace out. So I'd advise you to loosen up your styles just a little bit if you want to keep your edges intact. The third way that you can keep your hairline nice, thick, healthy, and beautiful is to avoid using too much oil on your hairline. Now, I know that I'm not sure if this is still a thing anymore, but I know a few years ago, I want to say maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, like it was a thing to put castor oil on your edges as a way to just get your hair to grow back. It was a thing to like grease your scalp with castor oil, and castor oil was just, we was just in love with the castor oil. I don't know why. And castor oil, a lot of people find a lot of benefits within castor oil. Y'all know it ain't my favorite, but a lot of people love castor oil and see a lot of benefits in it. Now, I would not advise using castor oil or any oil for that matter on your edges on a daily basis. And this is from personal experience. The reason why I would not advise you to put oil right here on your edges or just over and over and over every day is because, like I talked about in a few points back, if you're putting too much product on your hairline, a heavy product on top of that, such as castor oil, your scalp cannot breathe. And when your scalp is not free, it's not able to breathe, and you have a thick oil like castor oil on your hairline, you have a tendency, or your scalp has a tendency to develop fungus, and that fungus is called dandruff. Okay, so you may develop, white patches, or just, thick scaly patches, thick scaly oily yellow patches on your scalp from just using too much oil. And that's because your scalp doesn't have time to breathe, and it produces that fungus on your scalp. So, and a lot of people think that it's because their hair is dry, so they apply even more oil and the fungus gets even worse. I know, because I have made this mistake. No, stay away from that. If you just have to apply oil to your scalp because you think it's doing something for you or you think it's benefiting you, I would apply the oil not before you go to bed, because when you go to bed, you've applied the oil, you're tying your scalp, you're tying your hair down, your scalp is literally suffocating from the thick oil and your scarf. You're gonna wake up with a caked white ring all around your forehead if you're anything like me. Maybe you can do this and get away from it. I'm speaking from personal experience. This is what happened to me, and that's why I don't do it. But if you just necessarily want to add the oil to your hair, I would recommend doing it like when you wake up in the morning, when you're styling your hair, maybe dab like the smallest bit of oil to your finger and just massage it in. Don't apply the oil to where it's dripping down your face. It look like you got Jerry curl juice coming down. It's all on your neck. No, don't do that. Just apply just a little bit, massage it in. I can understand, you doing that and you getting some benefits from that. But what you don't want to do is oil your hair down, go to sleep, tie it with the scarf. That's just going to make your condition worse, or it can make it worse, and it can actually develop into a scalp fungus and dandruff, and I don't think y'all want that. I don't want that for y'all. I went through that, and it was very hard to get the dandruff out of my hair, and it took me weeks and weeks of washing my hair to figure out what the problem was and to stop doing that. So yeah, don't do that. Just use a little bit if you need to use something, and I promise you that little bit will go a very long way. The fourth tip that I have for y'all in regards to saving your edges and having thick, beautiful, healthy edges, or even just growing them back, is to be careful with your scarves and be careful with your bonnets. I know that most of us, hopefully all of us, sleep with some sort of bonnet, satin scarf, whatever at night, and that is great. However, if you are tying your bonnet or your scarf incorrectly, you're not using it properly, you're tying it too tight, or even if you're using the wrong type of bonnet or scarf, this could be detrimental for you. And let me explain. There's several reasons why, okay? The first reason, let's make sure that your bonnet or your scarf is the appropriate material. I hope by now that all of us know that the best material for your hair to be wrapped up in at night when you're going to sleep is silk, okay? So let's make sure, I'm assuming we all using silk. We ain't using no bandanas, nothing crate. We ain't using a t-shirt. We ain't using nothing like that. We using a silk scarf or a silk bonnet. Okay, check. We on the same page with that. Now, the next thing is you need to make sure you're not tying this thing too tight. And now when I'm speaking of tying it too tight, I'm really speaking about your scarf. I don't know about you guys, but how I do mine is I use the mesh wrap cap, then I use the scarf, then I use the bonnet. That's how I secure my hair at night. But what I like to do with my scarf is I like to tie it in a way where it's loose, but it's still on my head and it's not gonna come off, if that makes any sense. While I want my hair to be protected, I also want my scalp to be able to breathe at night. I don't want, any constriction of blood flow. I don't want any constriction of blood flow or prevention of blood flow going to my scalp, okay? I want my blood to be able to flow through my scalp. I don't want it to be so tight that my circulation is cut off and my blood is having to go through dips and dabbles and turns just to get through my scalp. So I tie my scarf loose, and I think this is beneficial in making sure you don't have any loss with your edges or making sure your edges stay nice and full. It's because, like I said, your blood is still circulating and flowing through all the parts of your hair that it needs to, and we all know that blood circulation is beneficial to hair growth. As well as, with me not tying my scarf so tight, I'm not crushing and crimping and just mashing my hair up because my scarf is just tied so tight. No, my scarf is on my head to protect and keep my hair together, but it doesn't have to be tied so tight to where I'm having I don't know what the word is. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Where I'm having imprints on my hair, or my hair is just being crushed and bent down and my poor little edges can't breathe and they're just just tucked under and folded under. No, 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 we ain't doing none of that, okay? My hair is intact, but the scarf is basically just laid on there, you know, just to have enough space for my scalp to be able to breathe, my hair to not be able to be compacted and smushed and bent and turned and all that type of stuff. And I really think that has helped me with my edges, because in the past when I've tied my scarves too tight and I've like, you know, they may have slid back a little bit onto my edges, I don't notice like any indentations in my edges or any like little missing gaps or anything like that in my hairline when I wake up as a result of that. And also, now that we're on the topic of scarves and how you tie your scarves and everything like that, we also need to be careful about the bonnets that we're sleeping in and the bonnets that we're choosing. I know there's so many different types of bonnet styles out right now, and I love this for us because I love all the colors, patterns, prints, sizes, etc. I love it. But in the past, y'all know, we had that little bonnet that had the little elastic around it, and the elastic would get worn out and tired, and we would have to secure it down with another scarf just to keep it on because the little elastic had stretched out and gave up on us. Okay, make sure you ain't still using that bonnet with the little elastic and the little ruffles all around the sides. Make sure you're not using that, because that rubber is not good for your edges, and that can rub on your edges and even take your edges out, because rubber is it's not smooth. It's not a smooth surface, and it can cause a lot of friction, especially on your hair. So make sure if you're using that type of bonnet that you upgrade to something that has more of a seamless inside. This is the one that I used, and I like this one because if you guys can see, it's very seamless on the inside. Like there's no like harsh, thick rubbery seam that's you know, gonna be laying on my edges. And this bonnet is very big as well. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all. Hope I don't mess my hair up, but this bonnet is very big as well, so it comes down right here. And I hope I don't mess my hair or my makeup up. Lord, trying to show y'all something, about to mess myself up. Y'all get what I'm saying? It comes like all the way down here, and I like that because it's not sitting on my edges. So I really like that. And another thing that I like about this style of bonnet is that it comes with this like tie thing that you can you know, loop around your head and make sure that it stays in place so that it doesn't come off. So, and I found this on AliExpress, no lie, for 1 cent. So if y'all need a bonnet, I know they sell these in the hair store, but for 1 cent, you can't beat 1 cent. So y'all run to AliExpress and get y'all one of these if y'all like it. I love this, and I'm gonna buy me some more. But anyways, make sure you're using a bonnet or whatever you're using. If you don't use a bonnet and you just use a scarf, make sure whatever you're using, it's not sitting on your edges. It's not causing friction or rubbing on your edges, or even moving around too much at night when you sleep on your edges, because that can cause friction and rub your edges out as well. The fifth tip that I have for you ladies, if you're trying to have thick, beautiful, luxurious edges, is to be careful with your relaxer application on relaxer day, if you do your relaxer yourself. And that is because if you over process your edges or your hairline, it's going to make your hairline look a lot thinner, and your hairline, your edges, they're just going to be a lot more susceptible to breakage if they are over processed. And this area can have a tendency to process faster because the hairs along our edges are a lot finer, and so it really takes no time at all for this area to process. So if you have very fine hair or you don't have a lot of new growth, I would recommend processing this area very, very last. Or even if you're having issues or trying to get this area to grow back, I would process this area last or put on the relaxer last just to give it a chance. You don't want to over process it and then you think you're gonna have some long beautiful edges and you not. They're gonna be snapped off because you have over processed them. The sixth tip that I have for you ladies in regards to having thick, beautiful, luxurious edges is to just be patient. If you are someone who has messed up your edges and you're trying to regrow them, or you had a setback, what have you, I have been there, I have done that, I've done it all. I told y'all at one point I didn't have no temples. Okay, it was long, bald, long. Okay, so I completely understand, and I was very devastated and very sad that I had did that to my hair, but I had to be patient, and eventually after just proper care, taking care of my hair, putting in the time, using the right products, and really using those low manipulation styles where my hair is not pulled back and tugged on, I'm not having any tension, my hair eventually grew back. So hopefully your edges are at a point where you can grow them back and they're not gone permanently. If you implement all these tips, you will have a thick, beautiful hairline. Your hairline will not fall out. With the chance of no return, you'll be able to maintain your edges and they'll even grow back thicker and healthier and more beautiful. So let me know, ladies, how do you think about these tips that I share with you guys today? If I missed any, definitely leave them down in the comments. I thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.